Hello everyone. Today we will talk about such an outstanding person as Simon Cowell. Nod is an English television personality, entrepreneur, and record executive. He has judged on the British television talent competition series Pop Idol, The X Factor UK, Britain's Got Talent and America's Got Talent. Simon is the principal, founder and chief executive of the British entertainment company Syco. Simon Philip Cowell was born on the 7th of October 1959 in Lambeth, London, and raised in Elstree, Hertfordshire. His mother, Julie Brett, née Josie Dalglish, was a ballet dancer and socialite, and his father, Eric Selig Philip Cowell, was an estate agent, property developer, and music industry executive. Cowell's father was from a mostly Jewish family. His own mother was born in Poland, though he did not discuss his ancestry with his children. Cowell's mother was from a Christian background. He has a younger brother, Nicholas Cowell, 3 half-brothers, John, Tony, and Michael Cowell, and a half-sister, June Cowell. Simon attended Radlett Preparatory School and the independent Dover College, as did his brother, but left after taking GCE levels. He passed English Language and Literature and then attended Windsor Technical College, where he gained another GCE in Sociology. His father, who was an executive at EMI Music Publishing, managed to get him a job in the mailroom. However, after failing to get a promotion, he left to try out other jobs before returning to EMI. In the early 1980s, Cowell left EMI to form E&S Music with his former boss at EMI but quit in 1983. He then formed Fanfare Records with Ian Burton, initially selling exercise videos, and music from acts such as the Italian orchestra Rondo Veneziano. He had his first hit song in 1986 with "Sa Macho" by Sanita. Some of Cowell's early success came through Stock Aitken Waterman, who produced a number of hits in the 1980s. However, in 1989 the company went under and he nearly became bankrupt. He then found a job with BMG as an A&R consultant and set up S Records under BMG. Simon restarted his career in the music business by creating novelty records with acts such as the Puppets Zig and Zag, Power Rangers and World Wrestling Federation. In 1995, through his persistence, he persuaded 2 actors, Robson Green and Jerome Flynn from the UK television drama series Soldier Soldier, to sign with him and record the song, Unchained Melody, which they had performed on the show. The recording by the duo, now named Robson and Jerome, quickly reached number 1 in the UK, staying at the top of the chart for 7 weeks. It became the best-selling single of 1995, and their self-titled album released later in the year also became the best-selling album of 1995. They released another album and 2 more singles before disbanding, and sold 7 million albums and 5 million singles in total. According to Cowell, they made him his first million. Later acts he signed included Five, Westlife and Teletubbies. In 2001, Cowell was given the role of judge on the first series of Pop Idol, a show that he and the show creator Simon Fuller successfully pitched to ITV controller of entertainment Claudia Rosenkrantz. Cowell's S Records signed the top 2 finishers of the first season of Pop Idol, Will Young and Gareth Gates, both of whom went on to have number 1 UK hits, and they were the top 2 best-selling singles of 2002 and the decade of 2000s. He also became a judge on the first season of American Idol in 2002. With his notoriously critical reputation, Cowell has been likened to TV personalities such as Judge Judy and The Weakest Link host Anne Robinson. Cowell's prominence grew, fed by his signature phrase, "I don't mean to be rude, but," inevitably followed by an unsparingly blunt appraisal of the contestants' talents, personality, or even physical appearance. Cowell formed a new company, Syco, in 2005. The company is divided into 3 units: Syco Music, Syco TV and Syco Film. Cowell returned to music with his latest brainchild signed to Syco, the internationally successful operatic pop group Il Divo, consisting of 3 opera singers and 1 pop singer of 4 different nationalities. Inspired by the success of Il Divo, Simon created a child version, Angelus, beating competition from similar groups emerging at Christmas 2006. On the 11th of January 2010, Cowell's exit from American Idol was made official. By the time Cowell left American Idol, the show was on its 7th consecutive season in its leadership among all primetime programs in the United States, even lasting up to 2011 in the longest winning streak in the U.S. overall viewership and demographics in the Nielsen ratings. The 2010 season was Cowell's last on the show, and he was replaced by Steven Tyler. It was also announced that Fox had acquired the rights to the X Factor USA, an American version of British show The X Factor that launched in 2011. In 2004, with Sharon Osbourne and Lewis Walsh, Cowell was a judge on the first series of the British television music competition The X Factor, which he created using his production company, Syco TV. The X Factor was an instant success with the viewers and enjoyed its 10th series in 2013. Leona Lewis, the winner of the third series of The X Factor, was signed to Cowell's label Syco and has had #1 singles and album sales around the world. Cowell returned for a fourth series on the 18th of August 2007 alongside Osbourne, Walsh and new judge, Danny Minogue. Walsh had previously been sacked from the judging panel by Cowell for the fourth series, and he was subsequently replaced by Brian Friedman, who was a judge on Grease is the Word. Simon Cowell also launched American The X Factor in September 2011 on American broadcaster Fox. It was originally announced that he would be a judge both on the UK and US editions of the show, which aired at similar times of the year, but MTV officially reported on the 17th of April 2011 that this was not true. Cowell was no longer to be a judge on the UK version, but he would remain a major presence backstage. He was joined by Paula Abdul, L.A. Reid, Nicole Scherzinger and formerly Cheryl Cole. Cowell's act Melanie Amaro won the season, making Cowell the winning judge. Cowell and Reid returned for season 2, while Demi Lovato and Britney Spears joined the judging panel as replacements for Abdul and Scherzinger. This season launched another of Cowell's acts into worldwide fame, the group Fifth Harmony. Cowell returned for a third season of The X Factor in September 2013 alongside Demi Lovato, while Britney Spears and L.A. Reid announced they would not be returning and were replaced by Paulina Rubio and Kelly Rowland. In October 2010, Cowell signed new 3-year deals with ITV for both Britain's Got Talent and The X Factor, retaining them until 2013. On the 15th of November 2013, the 3-year deal was extended by another 3 years, keeping it on air until 2016. In December 2020 it was announced that Cowell will be a judge on The X Factor Israel in 2021. In late May 2021, Cowell announced he will be cancelling his appearance on the show in context of the Israeli aggression against Gaza. Following the success of the Idol and X Factor franchises, Simon Cowell, his company Syco, and its business partners developed a talent show format open to performers of any kind, not only singers, but also dancers, instrumentalists, magicians, comedians, novelty acts, and so on. The origins of the Got Talent format can be traced to the British show Opportunity Knocks. Simon Cowell is the executive producer of America's Got Talent, which debuted in June 2006, along with Fremantle producers of the Idol series. The show was a huge success for NBC, drawing around 12 million viewers a week and beating So You Think You Can Dance on Fox. Britain's Got Talent debuted on ITV in June 2007. Cowell appeared as a judge alongside Amanda Holden and Piers Morgan. The show was a ratings success, and second and third seasons followed in 2008 and 2009. The third series featured a publicity coup when Susan Boyle made a global media impact comparable to that of any previous talent show series winner with her regional audition performance. In December 2019, Simon signed a 5-year deal with ITV ensuring Britain's Got Talent will stay on the channel until 2024. In 2014, Got Talent was named the world's most successful reality TV format by Guinness World Records, with spin-offs in over 68 countries. In 2015, Cowell launched La Banda, his first US show since his stint with American The X Factor. The show, designed to find male singers to form the ultimate Latino boy band, launched on Univision in the US on the 13th of September 2015. The winner of the show, boy band CNCO, signed to Cowell's record label Syco Music. Cowell was announced as the replacement for Howard Stern on America's Got Talent on the 22nd of October 2015. On the 15th of July 2020, it was announced that Simon Cowell had bought out Sony Music from their joint venture, Syco Entertainment. Simon Cowell has been involved in charity work for many years. He is a patron of Together for Short Lives, the leading UK charity for all children with life-threatening and life-limiting conditions. He was patron of Children's Hospices UK between 2009 and 2011 before it merged to become Together for Short Lives. Simon donated money to Manchester Dogs Home in England after it was hit by a large fire. In view of his charitable works, particularly the production of the charity single, Everybody Hurts, in aid of victims of the 2010 Haiti earthquake, as well as his services to the music industry. There was considerable media speculation as to whether Cowell would receive a knighthood in the Queen's 2010 birthday honors, a proposal allegedly put forward by then Prime Minister Gordon Brown. To raise money for the families of the victims of the Grenfell Tower fire in London in June 2017 and for the London Community Foundation, Cowell arranged the recording and release of a charity single, Bridge Over Troubled Water. Simon collaborated with a number of vocalists for the single, including Robbie Williams, Dua Lipa, Roger Daltrey and Rita Ora, and the song reached #1 in the UK singles chart. Simon Cowell dated English presenter Terry Seymour from 2002 to 2008. Then, was engaged to makeup artist Mizan Hosseini from 2010 to 2011. In 2013, Cowell allegedly began dating an American woman named Lauren Silverman. In July 2013, Silverman's husband and Cowell's friend, Andrew Silverman, filed for an at-fault divorce, citing adultery by his wife and naming Cowell as a co-respondent. News of the divorce filing became public 2 weeks later, when it was widely reported that Silverman and Cowell were expecting a baby together. The Silvermans released separate statements expressing concern for the well-being of their son during the divorce process. In August 2013, the Silvermans settled their divorce out of court, enabling Simon to avoid being called as a witness in the divorce proceedings. He subsequently confirmed that Silverman was pregnant with his child, and she gave birth to their son, Eric, on the 14th of February 2014. According to the Sunday Times Rich list of the wealthiest people in the UK, Cowell was worth £385 million in 2019. In 2019, Cowell became a vegan after doctors advised him to change his diet for health reasons. After his 2020 motorcycle accident, he began eating animal-based food again in order to rebuild his strength. In 2020, Simon Cowell announced he would be writing a 7-book series titled Wishfits with his son. The first 3 volumes are to be released in 2021, with the remaining 4 the next year. That's all for now. If you liked the video, like it, subscribe and be sure to hit the bell to be the first to know about the release of the new video.